10 dead as truck driver plows into crowd. During New Year celebration in New Orleans. New Year celebrations in New Orleans turned into tragedy as a truck rammed into a crowd of revelers. A driver crashed his pickup truck into a crowd celebrating New Year's Eve in the French Quarter, New Orleans, and opened fire, killing 10 people and injuring more than 35 others in a pre-dawn attack on January 1, 2025. The FBI has labeled the incident as an act of terrorism, according to a Reuters report. The suspect was killed in a shootout with police, law enforcement officials stated. This individual sought to hit as many people as possible, Police Chief Ann Kirkpatrick said during a televised press conference on Wednesday. He was determined to create chaos and destruction. The incident occurred at 3:15 a.m., 09:15 GMT, at the intersection of Canal and Bourbon Streets, a historic tourist destination in the French Quarter, renowned for its music and bars. Kirkpatrick explained that the driver, who evaded barricades, fired at police and struck 2 officers with his vehicle after the collision. The officers are reported to be in stable condition. "We know the perpetrator is deceased," said New Orleans City Council member Oliver Thomas. "As we investigate the motive, let us remember that no crime ever makes sense." No information about the driver's identity has been released. More than 300 officers were on duty at the time of the incident, police said. The city is hosting the Sugar Bowl, a traditional American football game on New Year's Day, and is set to host the NFL Super Bowl on February 9th. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell described the event as a terrorist attack. The FBI issued a statement confirming the incident is being investigated as terrorism. Initially, Alethea Duncan, the assistant special agent in charge of the FBI's New Orleans field office, stated that it was not considered a terrorist event. Duncan revealed that a suspected homemade explosive device had been discovered. Horrific scene. Verified video footage captured by a bystander showed at least 2 lifeless bodies lying in the street, one surrounded by a pool of blood. An onlooker was seen kneeling over one of the bodies as a group of uniformed military personnel carrying firearms passed by. A horrific act of violence occurred on Bourbon Street this morning, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry stated on X, formerly Twitter, urging people to avoid the area where the attack took place. The injured were transported to at least 5 hospitals, according to Nola Reddy, the city's emergency preparedness department. A couple told CBS News that they heard a loud crash coming from the direction of the street and then saw a white truck speeding through the barricades. Zion Parsons, 18, told NOLA.com that he and 2 friends were leaving a restaurant on Bourbon Street when they heard the commotion and saw a white vehicle speeding toward them. He managed to evade the vehicle, but one of his friends was struck, with his leg twisted and contorted over and around his back. You could only see bodies, just bodies of people, bleeding and broken, he recounted. U.S. Senator from Louisiana Bill Cassidy said on CNN that despite the attack, law enforcement in New Orleans was well prepared for the Sugar Bowl on Wednesday night. "The Superdome is under lockdown," he said. President Joe Biden called the city's mayor to offer full federal support, according to a statement from the White House. The nation awoke this morning to the news of a devastating tragedy in New Orleans, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a statement. He added that federal law enforcement agencies would deploy all available resources for this investigation. President-elect Donald Trump stated that his upcoming administration would fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this heinous act of pure evil. Last month in Germany, a 50-year-old man was charged with multiple counts of murder and attempted murder after allegedly driving his car into a crowd at a Christmas market in Magdeburg, killing 5 people and injuring several others. New Orleans has previously experienced shootings and vehicular attacks on crowds during parades. In November 2024, 2 people were killed and 10 others injured in 2 separate shootings along the parade route in New Orleans, attended by thousands, according to local media reports. In February 2017, a heavily intoxicated man drove a pickup truck into a crowd of spectators at a major Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans, injuring more than 20 people.